In this video, I will be putting my brand new Zoom LiveTrak L-8 mixer to the test in live streaming by streaming with it live. So let's jump in and get started. But if it is your first time here, who am I? What is this? Well, my name is Pete, and this is Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record, and release your best music. And I do that through tips and tricks and tutorials and apparently choking on your words and live stream videos just like this one. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, consider subscribing. So what's the format of this going to be? We're going to dive in. We're going to cover a lot of stuff in a hopefully short period of time. So we're going to show you around the interface of the LiveTrak L8, which is my new mixer interface hybrid that I've been using for the last couple of weeks. I'm going to go through what I like and maybe what I dislike about it so far. I'm going to show you some of the settings that we can have, how we can plug microphones and guitars and things in. I'm going to show you how we can play back through some of the stereo channels. So using audio from my iPad, I'm going to play back audio from my PC. I'm going to show a little of the recorder function, and I'm going to answer any questions or comments that folks that are live here have, because we are live on YouTube and on Facebook. So hello to all the folks who are here live. We will jump back and chat to you as we go through. If you're watching on the replay, no problem. We love you just as much. If you've got comments or questions after the show, just drop them down in the comments. I'm always down there hanging out and answering questions. Oh, and if you are on the replay, I'll get timestamps on there as soon as possible so that you can actually jump to the section that you want to see. Now, I'm doing something experimental here. I have camera 2. Camera 2, are you ready? Yes, I think camera 2 is ready. Camera 2 over here is pointed at my mixer. So this is so that I can actually show you what's going on over here. This is the LiveTrak L8 in all of its glory. And we have, as you can see at the moment, we have only channel 1, which is the mic that I'm talking through, and our main fader up. So they are both at about 0, around about unity gain. I've dialed in a little bit of the gain up here on my microphone to get that sitting about right. The folks here in the pre-show helped me test that and get it set. A little bit of EQ that I put in here up in the EQ section. So why don't we go through what actually this is? So what is the LiveTrak L8? Why would you consider buying one? And why did I get one? What did I want to do with it? So let's go through it. Let's take a tour here. Up the top here, we have 6 combo jack inputs. So these, you can see some of these have XLR, like the microphone one there. This has a guitar cable. So this is a standard TS guitar cable. We've got stereo inputs here. These are 1/4-inch stereo jacks, and they're hooked up to my iPad, which I'll show you later in this stream. We then have the ability along the top here to select high Z, so we can plug instruments in, and we've also got a 26 dB pad. So that means that if we're using line level, we can actually drop the signal of that line level if it's coming through too hot and too loud. That's super handy to have on there. Now over here, channel 7 and 8, here, you'll notice at the moment this light's on, which is USB. So this is why I can use this as my USB audio interface. So this is plugged into my PC at the moment, and this is what is providing the sound for this live stream. But I can actually also channel the audio from my PC back through this channel, put that up, and then we can play back audio as I'm streaming from my PC. So I'll show you how we can do that in this stream as well. We've then got this last channel here, which we can either use the sound pads or we can use that one there. And this little hole here, this is a 3.5mm TRRS jack, which what we can do with that one is actually connect up directly to our smartphone or to our tablet, and that can actually send a stereo signal, and you can do Skype calls, you can do messenger calls, phone calls, and you can actually use those and integrate those in if you're doing a podcast or a live stream. So someone could call me on my phone right now if it wasn't being used to film this second camera, and I would be able to bring them into this stream. And the beauty part is that I would be able to hear them and put them into the stream, but there wouldn't be that echo. That it does a mix minus, which is pretty cool. Other things that you can notice here, we've got our outputs. So I haven't got anything plugged into these two, but the beauty part is these are XLR outputs, which means any XLR cable, we can send a balanced signal to any speakers that accept XLR or use XLR to TRS if we need to on that one. So that's super cool. And they go out to my powered monitor speakers. You can probably see over here. There they are. I don't have them plugged in right now because otherwise it would be feeding back in a big bad way. We've then got our headphone jacks across the top here. I'm just using this one, the main output. We've got 3 others that you can either have an independent mix or you can actually just use the master mix. So that's cool. If and when I record bands and we have multiple people going at once, then we can actually have multiple outputs with multiple mixes, which is very cool. What else do we have here? Each channel. So what you'll notice, and something that's taken me a little while to get used to on this board, is that each channel doesn't have its own channel strip. It's got its own gain control, and then it's got its selection, its record, play, and its mute. So if I want to mute, I go away like that. So it's got those on each one. But as we select each channel, you can notice up here, so here we're on channel 1. If we select channel 2, you can see there that those adjusted, they changed, because as you go through and select each channel, you put the mix at a custom position for that channel. So this has taken a little bit of getting used to, because my old mixer had like traditional style. Each channel had its own channel strip, and you would just adjust them. So this has taken some getting used to, but as you'll find out in my pros and cons, I actually took much less time to get used to this than I thought I would. It's actually kind of cool, because you don't adjust panning and EQ very much during your show. It's just a matter of setting it up at the start, and then you're good to go. What else do I have here? The other thing is the recorder function. So down here in the bottom right, yep, can't see past my phone. You can see we've got a recorder. It's got mixer mode as well. There's effects, and there's some other things on here that we'll get to. So that is the basics. That is what we're looking at here. And the reason that I went with this particular mixer and this audio interface is I wanted something that could kind of do everything. So at the moment, I'm using this for live streaming. And again, we'll show you how we can incorporate other audio elements into this throughout this stream. I also wanted something that I can use to record my videos. So if you watched yesterday's video here on Studio Live today, that was recorded through this board. So that was recording the audio from my iPad and the audio from my microphone, mixing those down and put that with the video. So that's very cool. And the other thing I wanted was music recording, of course. So the ability to plug this into my PC and also my iPad to record multiple channels of audio is the other thing. So is this living up to its expectations? Is it doing all of those things? Well, that's what we're going to talk about and cover in this video. Alrighty. So let's talk about my experience so far with the LiveTrak L-8. Now, the first thing, the reason I bought this is that I have been using this one for a really long time. And to be honest, I still highly recommend this one. If you want a more budget solution, the Samson MixPad, the MXP 124FX, this thing has been solid. This thing has been an absolute workhorse, and I actually already kind of miss it. So I don't want to disparage Samson. They make amazing stuff, but the difference is this is about a $150 mixer, and the LiveTrak L8 is a $400 mixer. So if you're wondering, if you're watching and you're going, but Pete, how much does it cost? Yeah, it's $399 right now. That's the retail price, and that's pretty much the price everywhere on Amazon, Sweetwater, all of the regular usual suspect places. That's what you're going to pay for the LiveTrak L8. So what is the good, the bad, and the ugly so far? Let's bring it back up here, so you're not just looking at me. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice and shiny. It doesn't look fabulous under the lights there, but that's okay. So what are the pros and cons that we have of this one so far? So far, I'm loving the quality of the preamps. So Zoom make some pretty decent preamps, right? The H series, like their portable mobile recorders, they've always been good at getting nice, clean, quality sound going in, and this is no exception. These preamps, I've plugged in a bunch of different mics, and we'll do a test on this one's a condenser mic. We'll do a test on a dynamic mic in a moment. Everything I throw at this sounds good. Same with the inputs in the middle there. So putting a stereo signal in here, lots of sound, lots of gain, nice, clean, crisp sounds coming through. That has been really good so far. The playback through the USB, I won't touch it here because it'll probably break everything. But yes, this channel here, being able to have USB coming back in, again, I'll show you in a moment, that quality has been really good. I was testing that yesterday and quite impressed. So that'll be good for integrating other sounds and playing back videos and audio in my live streams and my shows. The sliders here, look, they're not as heavy as I would have thought, but they're also not moving anywhere. So they're not like real heavy metallic ones, but they're also, once you put them in place, they're not going anywhere. You're not going to accidentally bump it and send it all the way down. You've really got to give it a little bit of force. And sounds simple, sounds like something small, but I love my faders to actually have a little bit of weight to them, because there's nothing worse than bumping something and suddenly your mix is completely out of whack. That is not fun at all. The single channel strip, as I mentioned before, I thought this would be a bit of a deal breaker at first. I almost bought the L12, which has the individual strips. because I didn't want to have to play around with this setup over here. But with the way the lights work there, so you can see there as we change, we've got the different lights, and if we turn those, it actually changes and it goes to the right position. And these are infinite turning knobs. So that means that it just shows up wherever it is based on those lights, and then you can just adjust it as you go. We've also got a low cut filter here, by the way, which I've put on my voice. If I take that off, it doesn't sound much different, but that's just reducing any of those low rumble sounds. It's a handy thing. I've always used the high pass or low cut. I like that they call it low cut on this one. It's also called a high pass filter, which tends to confuse me and other people with exactly what it means. What else is good, bad, or otherwise? The quality of the build. So when I first got this out of the box, I thought, it doesn't feel heavy enough. It feels a bit plasticky. But then when I've started using it, once it's on a desk, it's completely solidly, it's got little rubber feet, it's solidly in place, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere, and the buttons and dials actually feel really nice to the touch. Yes, it's a lot of plastic going on here, but it's not like the flimsy, cheapy plastic that you get with a lot of cheaper units, and you'd hope that, paying $400, you'd hope that's the case. But yeah, I've been impressed with the quality of that and the build quality as well. What about the bad? I know you want to know what I'm not liking. So the major thing, number one, has been I haven't been able to get the audio interface mode down here, which you can't see. Down here, there's a selection where you can go between mixer and audio interface mode. I haven't been able to get the iOS version working. Now, I also haven't spent a lot of time testing it, so I need to spend some more time with that in the coming days, but it hasn't worked out for me yet. You can turn it into iOS mode, and it says something like plug it in and do something, and yeah, I've tried to read the manual. I haven't worked it out yet, so we'll continue working on that. That's hopefully user error, and we'll get that up and running soon. Otherwise, I'll be hitting up Zoom and saying, help me, I need help with my thing. And the other thing is, the one thing for streaming that a mixer is going to fall short on is being able to do a mix minus back through the USB. So this is a problem when I'm doing interviews and things, is that I have to rely on StreamYard here, who I'm using at the moment, their audio processing to actually reduce the echo, because what it does is when I'm talking to someone, it comes back through this channel. For me to hear that channel, I have to have it up, and then that's actually putting it back through the mix. So yeah, there's issues there around creating some echo. Luckily, StreamYard, the platform I use here, fixes that on the fly, which is good. But it would be great to be able to do a mix minus within here. There's probably a way with some routing through some of the other channels here, which I need to play around with a bit more. But there you go. That is the pros and the cons of this unit so far. We will jump in and answer any questions. I need a quick coffee break. But what I thought I'd do is I'll show everything first, and that way we'll hopefully cover a lot of the questions, and then at the end we will come on back. So why don't we start plugging some stuff in? I know that's what you came here to see. You want me to see me plug some stuff in and see if it works. So in true me style, I do have it here, do I? No, that's my mic, that's my guitar cable. I do have a microphone down here, as you can see. I've got my AKG D5. I just can't find the other end of the XLR cable, because I'm horribly unprepared. We're getting there. Like I say, it could be a train wreck. There it is. It was there the whole time. I couldn't find a smaller cable. I actually used my small XLR cables to hook up the interface, so that made it a little bit difficult for me. Let's come back and jump over there. So what we'll do, why don't we plug into channel 4 over here. We'll come carefully over the top, and we'll plug carefully into the XLR port on channel 4. So now we're plugged in. Now the first thing you want to do when you're connecting up a microphone to, well, anything to anything, is turn everything down. So we're going to turn the gain dial all the way down. We've got the fader all the way down. And what we can now do is firstly bring the fader on up on channel 4 and check 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a little bit coming through there. And now that we've got sort of, well, I know I did this kind of reverse, but now we can bring a little bit of the gain up here. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, check, check, check. And we can balance out the gain. And then if I get rid of that channel, I'm coming through on channel 4. So it is as simple as that to connect things. We've connected up the microphone there. We can now adjust the gain up a little bit if we need it. We've got our fader up there, and we're getting a decent signal through. Hopefully you're hearing me okay through this one, the AKG D5. Now, my buddy DJ Southpaw said he's been using some dynamic mic or a dynamic microphone, but he wasn't getting enough gain through. So I'm getting some decent gain here through this one. You can see I'm looking at the levels here. It's all coming through okay, and I would need to play around a little bit with the EQ here to balance that out. Now, Over here, we've also got some ability to pan. So we can pan left and pan right. The problem being that I haven't actually selected that channel. For starters, that's number one problem. But I'm hearing myself on the left and the right. The problem is you're not, because StreamYard only supports mono audio. So for me to be able to do, I'm going to talk this one. For me to be able to do all of this through StreamYard with the comments and the dual cameras and everything, yeah, it's not actually showing up properly. So it's not coming through as stereo audio. But trust me that the panning is panning it side to side. We've also got some effects that we can bring in here. If we turn that and then bring the effects up, I've just got a Hall reverb effect on there at the moment. Check. Hello. Welcome. And then we can turn that down. And the beauty of that is you can have how much effects there, but then you can obviously dial in each channel. So say you were recording some vocals and you wanted lots of reverb on your vocals and then just a little bit on your guitar, you can actually dial those in separately. So we'll turn those down again for now. So there you go. We've been able to, bump my camera, we've been able to install a second microphone here on this channel. Let's bring up my original channel back over here. And yeah, you can hear the difference. Again, I need to dial in that a bit better, but you can also see that the signal's coming through here. I like these signal lights because it's just telling you that it's working even before you turn something up. So with the fader still down, you can see that it's working, because if I tap the mic here, and if I tap too hard, it goes red. So red is your clipping. So again, you get a really easy visual view of if you're clipping your signal. So that's super handy as well. We'll put the mic to the side and let us move on to what was next on my list? Guitar, of course. We've got to try the guitar. And DJ Southpaw, just for context there, he said it's the SE V7, had the gain all the way up and the volume is still very low. So there you go. Might be something to keep in mind that, yeah, that can actually happen. And I'm assuming, like, also make sure, I'm sure DJ Southpaw hasn't done this, but make sure you don't have this pad on here, because that will have reduced the gain significantly if that is down. That's your minus 26 dB pad that will drop your volume and is good for line level, but not good for much else. Alrighty. And Daniel said I didn't hear much reverb. Hopefully it was actually channeling through. Maybe it's not coming through. When we do the guitar test, you can tell me if the reverb's actually coming through properly. It may just be that I'm not routing it through the main out the way that I should be. Okay, let's grab a guitar, because it's guitar time. So I've just got my my old, I don't even know what sort of guitar this is. Well, I know what the brand is. It's an Ashton, which is one of the cheap manufacturers here in Australia. Sorry, reaching down there. So I've got a guitar cable here. The white cable you can see plugged in to channel 2 up on the mixer is now going to go into my guitar. Again, everything is down as I whack the microphone. That's only number 3 for this show, I think. So everything is down. I've plugged into the guitar. I've got a pick. Yes, I've got a pick here. And if I play, you can see that that second channel light is coming on, and a very small amount of signal is coming through. So let us now turn up. Is everything else down? Yes. Turn up channel 2 here on our gain, and don't play. I won't even say the name of the band, because I'm sure YouTube scroll through and they're like, he played a song. Anyway, so yes, you can hear there that it's coming through. I'll have to just sort of play like just random riffs here. And of course, there's no processing on the guitar. It's just going straight through. And you will notice that I do have this button down here. So the first 2 channels have high Z or high Z input. If we turn that off, then it's much lower. We can still boost the gain with the gain control there to get it back up to a louder sound. But the high Z, if we turn the gain back down, just gives you a boost for instruments that are passive. And it will just give you a better sound. And again, you can see that if it's too loud there, you've got your little clip light. You can adjust things down. You can get it sounding good. All right, so let's hit the select button on number 2. And we'll come over here. Let's try these effects again, because Danny was saying these weren't coming through before. So why don't we make this swimming in effects? So we'll turn the effects up on that one there. And we've still got the effects up here. So we'll turn the effects up a lot. And now what we should get is lots of effects. Let's turn it. Let's go to 11, shall we? Let's turn the effects right up. Sorry. You didn't need that. Hopefully you heard a lot more reverb on that. And to control those effects, if I can move my head to see the button, there is an effect button over here. And you're not really going to be able to see what's up on this screen, but you've got all these different effects. Again, it's not a lot. There's just some reverb, some delay. In fact, let's just play around. Let's put the delay on here instead, shall we? Not too much of it this time. Just see if we can... Cool. So there you go. Oh, bumped it big time. And we've got some confirmation here. Yep, reverb sounds fine this time. Yep, and the effects definitely coming through. Cool. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Metallion. Good stuff. Rightio. So yeah, so the effects are coming through. I'll resist the urge to just like... to just jam here for a while. Yeah, right. Again, so we can turn that down, and again, that's why I love a mixer. Like guitar on, guitar off, boom. Like I know that you can do all of this with an audio interface and a multi-channel audio interface, but for something like this, if you're just jamming on something, it's just so simple to be able to do that. And when I show you the next section where we're going to bring in sounds from my PC, sounds from my iPad, you'll see again how super flexible it is. So we're going to unplug for now. Now, you know I'm an acoustic guy, so we're going to have to spend just 1 minute bringing my Taylor in. Oh, I'm going to have to step back a bit so I don't scratch it on here. Am I on? I'm probably on the chords now. I'm probably destroying chords as we go. So we'll plug the Taylor in, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll bring it up on there, and let's just see if we can get... So we need to get a little bit more gain with this one. The preamp's not quite as... That should be coming through okay there. Yep. Yep. So that is working. Again, I could sit here. By the way, never do that. That was a test. What you should all be saying is, Pete, never unplug your gear with the fader up, because you get that clunk, crunch, and at best it sounds terrible. At worst, you can like actually damage your gear or your ears, and your ears are your gear. Your ears are the most important gear you own. Don't forget that. I know, getting deep and meaningful here today. All right, coffee time, and then we'll get on to the next section. Okay. Which is, let's go to my notes and find out. Alrighty, have I got my levels are back up where they need to be. We've got everything else down. Okay, we've done electric, we've done acoustic, iPad. This should be a bit of fun. So what we're going to do, this will be a test. Can we add in my screen and have everything else here? This is going to test my resolve. Boom. Oh, look at that. Yes. So we've got the mixer down there. As you can see, that is the mixer setup, so you can see what I'm doing here. My iPad screen is here now as well. So I've been playing around. I used this in a video that I did yesterday. This is my song For the Birds. And the beauty of this is that what I've actually got connected here is you can see on the mixer, these two channels here. In fact, let's just remove this second mic so you can see this a bit better. Thank you for your service, microphone. So I've got in here, in channels 5 and 6, I've got the left and right here. And this is actually connected up to a 1/4 inch jack. I'll just unplug it for a sec. Over here, a 1/4 inch jack on my iPad. Now it's saying it's using AirPlay. I'll say okay, but then I'll plug it back in. And this is why when I got a new iPad, I went for the Gen 1, as well as the cost. This is the Gen 1 iPad Pro because it still has a headphone jack, and I really wanted a headphone jack. So we've now plugged in, we've got the headphone output plugged in there, and what we should be able to do is if we hit play, so many things going on here, hit play on this track, that's playing back now, as you can see on my iPad, and if we bring up, there's the left, and there's the right. Every time I think about the things you say are true, it gets me thinking about the different ways we choose to spend our time. And again, we can adjust, so we won't adjust the gain here because there's a line level signal coming in here. I probably need to make sure that all of these are flat, which they seem to be. Yeah, so no EQ or anything that's coming in there. And there you go. So how cool is this? If I wanted to play this as a backing track and then sing along, let's say I was doing a live stream, I could have my iPad set up there. I could then have my microphone here, have my guitars plugged in as you saw before, and then here on channels 5 and 6, bring this up. And if I wanted to, like, let's just say I didn't want the vocals to be playing here, I could come in here and mute my lead vocals, right? And then, like that. And then, for priority, and all the things you jump along the way will all move on without you, and they'll say it's for the birds. So yeah, how cool is that? You can play along with your own backing track. And then, of course, this is all coming back out. We'll just stop that for now. This is all coming back out into the stream that you can hear. And the other thing, I haven't mentioned this, but this has a built-in recorder function. So I can be recording this to an SD card at the same time as I'm playing. How cool is that? Yeah, so that is going to be a cool function to have. It's going to be great for my podcasting. So I'll be able to record and stream live. And what I've been doing so far is using... is that up? There you go. Is using the live recording, which obviously is okay, but sometimes it has a few clicks and pops from the live streaming. I've just been re-releasing that as a podcast. Now I'm going to get pristine 24-bit sound recorded directly to the SD card. I then just export that, edit that audio, and it's going to be exactly as it went in. So looking forward to using that for that function. So pretty cool that we can have the iPad here plugged in and playing back. And this works for any device, by the way. Anything with a 3.5mm jack, you can obviously plug out from an RCA. I know DJ Southpaw has some outboard gear that he's going to be using with this. So anything that you can actually connect up here and plug into any of these inputs is going to be good to go. I think that's pretty cool. Alrighty, let us come. I'm going to. I'll unshare this. We'll come back over to here. Come back to that view, and I'll just reduce this. Otherwise, I'm just using up extra space and extra processing power on my computer that I don't need to be. All right, let's go to our notes here. What have we got next? PC audio, of course. So let's come in here, and what we'll do is we'll play back something. We'll play back something over here. I'm bringing up my screen, and let's just go to YouTube just for fun. And I'm going to play back my own stuff. If you ever wonder, if you say, Pete, why do you always play back your own stuff when you're doing tests? It's mostly copyright related. It's that I know that I'm not going to come after me when it comes to copyright. So if I use my own music as a demo and as a test, then it's all good. If I use other people's, you just never know. So we'll come in here. Now let's bring up my screen. We'll go back to this view here. So now you're seeing my PC screen. This is the second monitor that I have over there on my PC screen. And what I can do is let's bring up this track. This is my song Hold On. And if we start playing it, you'll notice nothing happens out of the gate. And then I'll show you what we need to do to bring this in. So it's playing at the moment. You can see it there. And if we now come over to here, you can see we've got USB enabled in this one. In fact, let's can we get this a bit bigger so we can see more of that? No, that's me. What about that? No, we're just going to have to go back to this view, I think. There we go. So this channel here is the USB channel. And at the moment, it's not up. But magically, when we start increasing this... You're in a rush and you don't know why. So what it's doing there is it's rerouting the audio back in. So what you're hearing is me talking, you're hearing it coming through the mixer, and then you're also hearing that video playing from my PC coming back through. And we can mix that in. So you can see the power of this, right? I can have two microphones, two guitars, my stereo output from my iPad, my PC audio, and I can mix all of those down into a live stream, and I can record all those channels to an SD card at the same time. Like this, yeah, it is genuinely living up to the hype and to the reputation, because this is exactly what I wanted in a device like this. I wanted the ability to be able to bring all of this stuff together. And the Samsung did it okay. Here's the thing though, the Samsung couldn't record it separately. So I needed to, if I wanted to, I needed to output from the Samsung to another digital recorder if I wanted a backup copy. This thing records it to SD. That's super cool. And just the different options and functionality we have this plus. It is slightly better quality. It's 24-bit, 48 kilohertz audio coming out of this into the PC, and I think it even can record up to 96 kilobit. I think DJ Southpaw, you were saying, to the SD card. So there's a whole lot going on here, right? And there's a whole lot of cool features that we can use with this. And I have just scratched the surface here. In fact, let me check my notes before before we continue on and make sure that we have gone through everything. Yeah, so I haven't talked in detail about the recorder function that we have here, and I won't really demo it here because it's going to be really hard for you to see the screen. I'll do a future video where I show the recorder function. But basically, what you do to record is if I wanted to record right now, I would just set whatever channels I wanted to record. So if I wanted this USB channel, that's actually, it's not playing anymore, I've turned it on. My USB channel, that one, I wanted these two stereo channels. I set all those to record. I come down here, if I can see, I turn on recorder mode like that, and then I hit the play. Now you've got to hit the play and record button, I think. Oop. Yeah, there you go. So now it is actually recording. You can't really see it up there, but the counter, the timer here is going along. It's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, and we're good. And then if we stop like that, right, there you go. And then we're good to go. So, oh, what have I done? Oh, it's got a tempo button. I didn't even know I had that. Sorry, we'll go back to the mixer mode. Right. You can tell that I'm brand new to this. I just want to try and replay this. Turn that tempo off. I don't know how to do that. I need to read the manual. I just want to try and play this back just to show you what it will sound like if we hit play. Now we've got it. I think I'm out of my realm here. Let's turn these back to play, and let's see if we can go back to the start. We can, and hit the play button. Yeah, there you go. So now it is actually recording. You can't really see it up there, but the counter, the timer here is going along. It's going 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Clearly, it's been a long time since Pete's used a 4-track or any sort of actual digital recorder that's not a DAW, but yes, that is all cool. And there's some chat here. I think the questions might be around the mono and stereo. So it's coming through mono at the moment. So it's coming through as a mono signal because StreamYard only supports mono, but it is stereo in my ears. So the audio is stereo coming out of this. So the PC audio that comes in here is stereo. All of these channels you can pan left and right, and it's going to be stereo. And I'll do a separate proper demo. I'm actually planning to do a live show with this because I want to test it out. So I'll do a live show stream, hopefully this weekend, where I'm actually testing that. And I'll do that through OBS, so you'll get the full audio and video quality coming through of this, because it hasn't quite done it justice to the audio quality. I really wanted to show the functionality and the features that we have here. So that if you are in the market and you are going, hey, what is the big deal with this? Is this something that I need? Then at least you can see what it can actually do. And hopefully this has helped you out with that. We'll jump in here and see if we've got any questions from those here. I'll start at the bottom and go up. So I think there was a question here about the actual maximum size. So DJ Southpaw says the max size you can use is a 512 SDXC. I think I've got a 64 or a 32 in there at the moment, but yes, you can. And I think, how much do I have? I can record 8 hours? No, 55 hours. 55 hours? Is that right? On a 32 gig? No, that doesn't sound right. Or maybe right. I don't know. Yes, you can record a lot. Depending how many tracks you record, you can record quite a lot of audio on there. So Larry says, another use of this would be to go camping with friends and record them with an iPad in this unit, save it to the SD and give them copies of the SD. Yeah, so that's the thing. Excuse me, I didn't mention it either, but this is powered by batteries. You can actually plug in AA's. You can actually, at the moment it's plugged directly into my PC and it's using bus power, but you can plug it, if you're using it standalone, you can plug it into a portable USB battery. So it's just a micro USB 5-volt connection. So portability, yeah, out the wazoo. You can actually use it on the go. And Kenny says, yes, love the portability of this mixer. And yes, DJ Southport can run off batteries. Yeah, AA's, it'll chew through them in about 8 hours, apparently. I haven't used it with AA's, but yeah, I just use it. It's got a 5-volt DC. So a 10,000 milliamp portable battery. It's going to last you probably 20, 30 hours of playback. Pretty cool. Danny Elliott, yes, we've answered that one. So it is stereo out of the PC, which is really cool. Um, and he said, weird that I started hearing clicks and pops immediately after you started talking about it. Yeah, so it does. The stream is not going to be perfect because there's so many things that can go wrong with a stream. Um, We've got a few months ago. You asked what our favorite album was. I said "Awake" by Skillet. You ever listened to it? Yeah, I did actually. I listened to that. I was walking home one day and I listened to that, and I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. I got to get back to you, and let you know that. Darren said the acoustics sounded good. That is cool. Glad to hear it. I thought you were, I thought you were a Kiwi, but you don't say bedroom or breakfast. Yeah. The thing is that people think I'm either from New Zealand or England or Scotland. Usually, very few people actually think I'm from Australia because I'm from Adelaide, and Adelaide folks we speak the Queen's English a little bit more. So, yeah. Um, it's just our accent basically. We talk a bit more We say dance and potato and tomato. No, we say tomato. So we say a few things a bit differently. It's okay. Alrighty, I'm just scrolling up here to see if we have any other questions. Doesn't look like it, so we are going to. I'll remove that. Remove that there. We're going to finish up here. Thank you. Oh, yep. So we have one more question. Yeah, and each person has their own headphone jack. How many headphones jacks does it have? It has 4. So you have your master output headphone jack up here, and then you've got 3 others that you can either have the master mix, or you can even use separate mixes. So you can control down here, you can control the mixes, and you can actually mix in different levels for 4 different people. So if you're using it as a band, then you can do that. That's a pretty cool option as well. All right, that is going to do it. Now, I will put a link down in the description if you do want to check it out in more detail. I've got my original video, which will be down there on this when I did the unboxing. I've got more videos coming up in the coming weeks about using this because I'll be using it on the daily. Now that it's in, now that I know it's working, and now that I'm kind of a little bit in love with it, I'll be able to do that. And if you do want to pick one up, there is an affiliate link down in the description below that you can check out as well. Thank you for being here, folks. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.